you can't hide. Talking all that trash, it's got your tongue tied. We king in the window, we'll start till we're finished. You better be ready to throw down. Calling us nameless, I'm missing the papers, and we find our way cause we know how. You get it twisted, we doing our business, they're chanting our names and it's so loud. Better believe it, we can't be defeated, no way. We are the heroes, we're talking legend. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Can't stop us when we go in. Kings and queens are folding. There's something in our touch, feel the rush. Yeah, we're golden, sending out a message. Leave them in the wreckage. Unbreakable, powerful forces not to mess with. We keep it a win, we'll fight till we're finished. You better be ready to throw down. Calling us famous, I'm losing the papers, and we find our way cause we know how. You get it twisted, we doing our business, they're chanting our names and it's so loud. Better believe it, we can't be defeated, no way. We are the heroes, we're talking legend. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. We are the heroes, we're talking legend. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens.
You are being presented with a choice, evolve or remain. If you choose to remain unchanged, you will be presented with the same challenges, the same routine, the same storms, the same situations until you learn from them, until you love yourself enough to say no more, until you choose change. If you choose to evolve, you will connect with the strength within you. You will explore what lies outside the comfort zone. You will awaken to love. You will become. You will be. You have everything you need. Choose to evolve. Choose love. Tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. I'm Alisha Quinn. Welcome back. And we are talking today about lying. And when you really come to see and realize the programming that happens with music and things, that song kind of hits it a little bit, you know? I don't take lying very well at all. And, I'm here sharing my truth, my experiences, and what I know. And I am a divine being having a human life experience here. So we're going to go through here a little bit and talk about my past because, I don't do very well with lying at all. At all. So, there was Cal. He was seriously the first one who lied to me, convincing me that what he was doing with me was okay. And that was my grandmother's husband. And, when everything kind of came out and, came to truly realize that what was going on was not okay, that, what happens is you convince yourself that the person is telling you the truth and that is okay. And when I found out, oh, I was just livid. And we were going through a process to go to court and everything. And when they asked me about why I had lied about it, because I lied, saying nothing was happening because, it was something I was supposed to keep a secret to. And, for whatever reason, I just, he just had such a hold on me too. And so, anyhow, when they asked me why I lied. And I said, he threatened me with a gun. Said that in court too. And so, so that kind of, starts something off. I don't feel like I've ever been like deceitful in lying, but I've always, if I thought that it was going to benefit me, might tell a little white lie, or there's lying to kids about Santa Claus and Easter Bunny and stuff like that. So, but anyhow, as I got older and stuff, we had my first husband, and he lied to me and about, wanting to marry me for a marriage visa. He was dinking around doing something, taking my car. And he got deported. And Cal spent 3 years in prison. I don't know, about 3.5 years. I don't know about, the lying about the gun thing did anything, but who knows? Then there was another guy, another Elijah, who told me he was living with his cousin. Turned out he was married and he lost his marriage. And then, there was another guy I had an affair with. I knew he was married. His wife found out and everything. He told me who he was and he showed me. And guess what? I didn't do nothing. I walked away. It was all done, pretty much honest, it was just, when wife called me up about it, I didn't lie to her. I was truthful, And so, when it came time, I walked away. He showed me who he was. And then I had Robert, who I find out he was screwing around on me for years. Found that out when he was dying. And he also hid the fact that he was a pedophile. But, I tell you what, the way that man died, I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. So, I just don't see how lying truly benefits you. And, so then there was the situation with Ronald, where he was lying to me about a marriage visa, and I busted his balls up a couple of times. On the other side of the world, isn't that amazing? That little girl hit was pretty good too, a few times. Did he truly get away with it? Oh, and then there was, when Robert was dying, there was a Dick, the preacher man, who was lying too. People seem to think that they get away with stuff, but as it would turn out, they don't. Because Dick the preacher man died a year later in January of 24, filled with cancer. Preacher man, imagine. Better be careful. And, then there was Ernestine and her family who lied to me, which sent me into a little paranoid little thing. Having people follow me and stuff, and not only ending up in the hospital once, but twice. I guess it serves a purpose somehow or another. But the thing is it'll be very interesting, because to truly think, do people really get away with that BS? And, as I went through that time as well and started, coming forth with the fact that I did lie in court over Cal, nobody fucking cared. Something I was holding on to for all those years, and nobody even really cared about it. It was just something that I was holding on to within me. And I let that go, and I forgive myself for, the way that I was because of the trauma. And so, let it go and, forgive yourself. And if you can make an amends with the person, do so. But, ultimately, you're the one who's carrying around that guilt, and you got to let it go. And that's what I truly came to learn, was let it go. And, anyone who has lied to me, guess what? when you overcome those low energies of guilt and fear, and you rise up to the higher frequencies of love and light and gratitude, and you work on being your higher divine self, guess what? You can see it. You can read the energies. You can see it. You can feel it. And you watch it, because God always tells you. I always find out when people are lying to me. Trust your instincts, because energy does not lie, ever. And so that is something to truly learn about. And so, we could talk about the world or whatever, which is just full of just all kinds of different things that, that politicians are liars, and we know the church is lying. They don't even follow their Bible, because their Bible proves flat earth, and they're on a heliocentric globe thing, just Big Bang theory thing. So it's all lies too. It's a lot of lying, but, we're going to look up here about, lying and what lying truly does, because when I was in the hospital, the doctor told me it glitches your mind up a little bit. So we're going to look at some websites about lying, and if lying is really beneficial to you or to others when you're lying. And if you're being lied to and you're going against your instincts, lying to yourself, I tell you what, that does something too. So we're going to go ahead and look at this. All right, it says lying can have profound psychological, emotional, and social effects on individuals and relationships, leading to a loss of trust, self-esteem issues, and broader societal implications. Psychological effects. Loss of trust. One of the most significant impacts of lying is the erosion of trust. When someone is caught lying, it can lead to a breakdown in relationship, whether personal or professional. Trust is foundational to any relationship, and once it is compromised, it can be challenging to rebuild. So government is lying to us, and we know they're lying to us, but we still want to trust them. And we know religion is lying to us too, but we still want to trust the church. And then, we get to the other personal relationships and people lying to us as well. Emotional consequences. Being lied to can lead to feelings of betrayal, confusion, vulnerability. Individuals may question their judgment and feel disrespected, which can affect their self-esteem and emotional well-being. Self-deception. Lying often involves self-deception, where individuals convince themselves of falsehoods to justify their actions. This can lead to a distorted perception of reality and influence decision-making processes negatively. So, see, that's one of the things that I have been truly led to, is that, somebody can be lying to you, but at the same time, they're lying to themselves. See, their subconscious mind knows nobody else but them. And they know they're lying. So, cognitive load. Lying requires more cognitive effort than telling the truth, as the brain must manage and manipulate falsehoods while inhibiting truthful responses. This increased cognitive load can trigger stress responses, affecting mental health over time. Imagine all the lying BS that's been going on, and people have all kinds of mental issues going on. In fact, I heard there's a whole mental issue pandemic going on. You got the world lying to you with government and all that BS, and the church, they're a part of it. Religion, and then people in your life lying to you. And then you wonder why you have mental problems. Erosion of social trust. On a broader scale, lying can erode trust within communities and societies. When dishonesty becomes a norm, it can lead to a culture of skepticism and suspicion, making it difficult for individuals to form genuine connections. Imagine. Motivations behind lying. People lie for various reasons, including avoid conflict, gain advantages, or protect others' feelings. While some lies, known as prosocial lies, may seem harmless or even beneficial, they can still have unintended negative consequences, such as fostering dependency on false feedback. Maybe like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, maybe? Psychological lying. In some cases, lying can become a psychopathic behavior, leading to chronic dishonesty that affects personal relationships and social interactions. This can create a cycle of mistrust and emotional distress for both the liar and those being lied to. Conclusion: lying is a complex behavior with far-reaching effects on individuals and society. Understanding the psychological, emotional, and social consequences of lying can help individuals navigate their relationships more effectively and foster a culture of honesty and trust. By recognizing the motivations behind lying and its impacts, we can work towards healthier communication practices and stronger interpersonal connections. There we go. All right, lies. Are they the root of all evil? There are two main kinds of lies: the lies we tell others and the lies we tell ourselves. Both kinds of lies can do great damage. Now, I'm not talking about those little white lies we humans all tell to spare those we care about unnecessary pain. We have no obligation to be bluntly and fully forthcoming when it would serve no constructive person, like when we truly believe that friend of ours looks absolutely hideous in the outfit they're wearing. But some lies do serious damage, not just to others' feelings, but to the very fabric of our character. Some lies cut out at the heart of the human soul, and that's where the evil lies. The evil in some lies. I've counseled many individuals over the years, and many have engaged in behaviors that were harmful to themselves or others. Some didn't really know or fully appreciate what they're doing when they engage in those behaviors, but others were fully aware and simply lied about it. Now, mainly, we lie for two reasons: to avoid some negative consequence we anticipate, or to help ensure get something we want that we don't think we can come by easily and legitimately. And while that's bad enough, disturbed characters lie for more sinister reasons. Manipulators lie to protect their image. They want to project an image they know to be patently false. They do this to hoodwink others and avoid reckoning with their character shortcomings. That'd be Ronald and Robert right there. There's a special kind of evil in such lies. Truly malignant lies. Perhaps the most malignant lies are the lies we tell to ourselves and to others about the true nature of our intentions and actions. I'm not talking about denial here. The unconscious defense nature endows us with to protect us from unbearable pain. Rather, I'm talking about deliberately casting a false impression in order to maintain a favorable appearances while knowingly doing unconscionable things. I can't count the number of times divorcing partners falsely cast their determination to inflict pain and punishment on one another as only sincere concern for the welfare of their children. There have also been many instances in which a person cloaked their desire to wield dominance and control under the guise of merely caring too much. There is genuine evil in these types of lying. Lying in human nature. At a primal level, we are all animals with basic desires, instincts, urges, and raw emotions. And these primal characters of ours are not inherently evil. They're a part of who we are. But because we are more than mere animals, we're capable of functioning on a much higher plane. Before we can elevate ourselves to that plane, however, we must first own and then reckon with our baser inclinations. Of course, this is neither appealing nor easy. In fact, the burden of self-reckoning is a cross we're all called to carry if we're to fashion a better world. But failing to accept this burden and instead lying about the flaws within ourselves is the ultimate evil. The truth shall set you free. There is a saying that the truth shall make you free. But my years of dealing largely with the characterological messes people can make of themselves has taught me that the truth is also the way to make a person well. Long ago, I came to appreciate the power of honest self-reckoning and the power of benign therapeutic confrontations. When truth is alive in the therapy room, more is at work than either the confessions of a client or the therapist's attempt to conscientious guidance. Of course, therapists can be sure their own psychological baggage isn't getting in the way too. That requires their own honest self-reckoning, but the truth is always there where the power is in therapy. And for many years, I've witnessed the truth help many to be set free and made well. There's more to come by this important fourth commandment of sound character development. And of course, you can find more on the subject, other articles. So this is lying can have significant psychological, emotional, and physical health effects on both the liar and the person being lied to. Psychological effects. Trust erosion. Being lied to can severely damage trust in relationships. Once trust is broken, it can lead to ongoing suspicion and a reluctance to confide in the liar again. which can strain personal and professional relationships. Emotional distress. Individuals who are frequently lied to may experience feelings of disrespect and betrayal. This emotional turmoil can lead to anxiety, depression, and a general sense of insecurity in relationships. Increased anxiety. Lying activates the brain's limbic system, which is responsible for emotional responses. This can lead to heightened stress levels as the brain works harder to manage the cognitive load of maintaining falsehoods. Physical health effects. Here we go. Chronic lying can trigger psychological stress responses, including increased heart and elevated blood pressure. Over time, these stress responses can contribute to serious health issues such as cardiovascular problems. Gut-brain connection. There is evidence suggesting that the stress associated with lying can lead to gastrointestinal issues. Anxiety and stress can manifest physically, potentially causing symptoms like nausea or digestive problems. Desensitization. Interestingly, habitual lying may lead to a desensitizing effect where the emotional and psychological responses to lying diminish over time. This can make it easier for individuals to lie, potentially leading to a cycle of increased dishonesty and its associated health risks. See, that was one of the things that I was shown with Dick the Preacher Man. It is quite interesting because the one thing I knew about the man was that, and his marriage, was that his wife wouldn't speak to him for 3 days if he came home after midnight. And considering the dick problems I found in religion with these religious men, I wouldn't, and the fact that I know that man was a lying snake, I wouldn't put it past the man that he was screwing around on that woman. And she suffering with Parkinson's disease. You know, between probably that and, religion and the world, it's just no wonder. Social and evolutionary perspectives. Lying is not just a personal issue, it has broader social implications. From an evolutionary standpoint, the ability to deceive has been crucial for survival, influencing social dynamics and interactions. However, the long-term health effects of lying can undermine the very social bonds that lying might initially protect. In summary, lying can have profound effects on mental and physical health, impacting trust, emotional well-being, and even leading to serious health issues over time. Understanding these effects can help individuals navigate their relationships more effectively and promote healthier communication practices. So, you got Ronald, who is lying to several women online, and the boy has so much anxiety because of all his BS, because he's doing it to himself. You can keep on playing that game. And I advise anyone who has anyone lie to them, learn to trust yourself, rise up, face yourself, and read energy. You'll know when they're lying. You'll find out. You'll feel it even, and get the liars and the bullshitters out of your life. Because it harms you physically and emotionally and psychologically. Get them out. And you'll live a better life. Maybe probably a healthier life, mentally and physically and psychologically, spiritually, you know? And, you know, people like the Ronalds, you know, I mean, there was Robert. He was just a freaking train wreck at the end. So, you know, and that's just how it keeps on going, you know. They have their dick problem that they can't get control over. They're using religion to hide it up. And they think they're okay, but, you know, they're lying, thinking they can use Jesus Christ to save them. But that bullshit keeps on coming up and coming up and coming up. And that's how it works. That's called the energy game. You got to love it. And, you know, I was trying to figure out years what the hell was going on with Robert. I figured it out. It was because of all of his bullshit that just kept on coming up and coming up and coming up. Because it comes up with problems with the neighbors, problems with people in the church, problems with people in business. Because of your lying bullshit. So, and then, you know, then you got the health issues that come about. You know, you got ED, especially when you got a dick problem and you're lying about that. It's a fun game. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And so, more sinister lies, such as falsely accusing someone of a crime or lying to investors, can have devastating consequences. Dishonesty puts the brain in a state of heightened alert, and this stress increases with the magnitude of the lie. Why does the brain care about honesty? As social animals, our reputation is paramount. Consequently, most people work very hard to maintain an image of trustworthiness and integrity. Knowing that dishonesty risks irrevocable damage to one's reputation, lying is an inherently stressful activity. When we engage in deceit, our respiratory and heart rates increase. We start to sweat, our mouth goes dry, and our voice can shake. Some of these psychological effects form the basis of the classic lie detector polygraph test. People vary in their ability to tell a lie, due in part to differences in the brain. To take an extreme example, sociopaths lack empathy and therefore do not exhibit a typical psychological response when lying. Liars can also pass a polygraph if trained to stay calm during the test. Similarly, innocent people may fail the test merely because they are anxious about being hooked up to the intimidating equipment. For these reasons, the accuracy of polygraph testing is heavily contested. So, in contrast, brain imaging studies are proving to be much more informative for learning about the body's responses to lying. Symptoms of anxiety arise because lying activates the limbic system in the brain, the same area that initiates the fight or flight response that triggered during other stresses. When people are being dishonest, this area of the brain shows minimal activity, but when telling a lie, it lights up like fireworks display. An honest brain is relaxed while a dishonest brain is frantic. Imagine. I think I figured out what Ronald's problem is. He was a little frantic a few times there. And when I hit up his girl and stuff and did that little lying thing that I did, that little psychological warfare. I mean, he kind of liked those games though. And so that he was being investigated for possibly pedophilia. He was frantic. But I felt some of that energy myself. And so, there comes a time when it's time to just be done with all bullshitters and stop bullshitting yourself. Trust yourself, connect to yourself, and learn to trust yourself, your instincts. And, that would include getting rid of all the government bullshit too. Religion out, do yourself some favors. And that's what I've done. Lots of favors for me. And so, dealing with my own lying problem, came to a point where I just seen that lying just did not benefit me. And nobody cared about the cow thing. I let it go. I was 10 years old, let that go and move forward. And my conclusion is that lying is a soul violation. And it's particularly a soul violation against yourself. Because every time you lie, your brain, your consciousness, your subconscious mind hears it every time. So when a man has several women that he's lying to, that one woman is getting those lies one time, but he's getting them every time with every single woman he lies to. He gets it on himself even more. And then you wonder why these guys are in such a mess. And having these guys lie to me all these years, well, you know what? There comes a time when you say enough is enough with all the lying, with all the bullshit. And you know what? You clean up your life and you get yourself right. Work on you. And that's what I've done. You can take the lesson or not. I'm going to ask a couple questions here and then end this. So, are we programmed to lie? That song, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Better not lie to me. You're going to find out a good lesson. But you know what? Good lesson is to keep them out. Is lying about holiday things like Santa and Easter Bunny okay? And I say no to that. It puts your children in a delusional state. And then you want to tell them that God is real and stuff, But, people just go along to get along. I did that game for a long time too. And, I'm kind of done with that one. I'm empowering myself. Does lying really give you a benefit or cause more problems? Well, you know what? From the information there that we just read, I would say that that's a no. That, you know what? You are better off just telling the truth. And, as we go through, not only like through the rest of last year that I have to share, where I was really faced with that, lying little bit, and even into this year, I just found don't lie. and everything will work out. And that's truly what I have discovered. Like, it's just a form of fear, but you have to let go of the fear and be honest. Be honest. And I got faced with that last year. I will share more about that on my video on September 10th. But everything will work out if you tell the truth. And that's what I truly came to discover for myself. If your subconscious mind don't know anyone but you, are you lying to yourself at the same time? And yes, you are. You are. So you keep on with that gig, and God help the people that are in your life. And one of them will probably teach you a lesson eventually. I heard a great one the other day with this woman who positioned herself with her husband, who had money coming in from an inheritance. Like, she stuck around for like a year, kept track of all this evidence and everything. And he was so busy with that bullshit, he didn't notice what she was doing. And he kind of got himself screwed in the end. Is God inside us? If God is inside us, are we at war with God by lying? Oh. And you seem to think that you can use Jesus Christ, but that doesn't work for you. And I can tell you that. That's a big lie too. Jesus Christ don't save you from your bullshit. He doesn't. You have to face it yourself. If lying causes guilt and guilt is low vibrational, would you benefit by telling the truth? And that's what I discovered was let go of the guilt, or let go of the fear even. Let go of it. You got to get over those energies, those low vibrational energies of the guilt and the fear and the shame. So if you have lied, facing yourself on it and just letting it go and just overcoming it instead of keeping yourself in those low vibrations of those things, and start telling the truth, and God, you got God within you. God is for you when you're for yourself, and everything will work out. And that's truly what I have come to learn. Don't worry about it. It will work out. And worry is just another one of those low vibrational things that, we have to learn how to overcome, And so only you can forgive. Learn the lesson, live out what you have done, and transmute the energy into love, light, and gratitude, and move forward. Just saying, you know what? I learned the lesson, and I'm grateful for the lesson, and I am the change. I'm the change. I change, and others will change too. And it changes your life and your own reality. And it truly does. And our reality is what we create from all that mess, all the things that we look at, all the things we say, our emotions, all these things is created in our life. So you got to, learn to forgive and, let go of those low vibrational energies of guilt and fear and shame and worry and victimization, and those kind of things, lack mentality. And when you do that and you come into the higher vibrations of acceptance and love and light and gratitude, and I'm right where I'm meant to be kind of thing, everything works out in my favor. Spirit got my back. Everything works out. That it's a whole different world. It's a different world for you. And so take the lesson from me and just face yourself with whatever you've done and start being the higher version. I mean, if you are God experiencing himself or itself, whatever, spirit itself in a human experience, that's the total, like, having being a divine being, having a human life experience, right? So if you're that, if you're a divine being just having a human experience, you're the one who has to transmute that energy into the higher energies. And that is what I have found to be my truth. So sharing my truth, sharing what I've come to learn on this journey in this body of Alisha, playing Alisha. I once was Alisha Broman, now I'm Alisha Quinn. And so anyhow, both names come up to the number 8. And so, I'm grateful for, being done with the lying BS, truly. And I'm grateful to connect with spirit so that I can truly see, that I can truly read the energies and truly see the energies of people. And when you come up into the light, which is all within you, remember, everything is within. And you got the dark, the lower vibrations. You come up into the higher vibrations and you can see things a lot better. So for future shows are on September 10th of 25. I'm sharing my journey from last year of that was when I got a job. So I will share what happened after I got out of the hospital here in the North South Carolina area and being homeless and what kind of went on from that point to September 10th when I got a job. And I'm going to be working on one of illusions and paranoia, and questioning reality, because that's where I came from last year, being in an illusion of people following me because I was lied to. And that really comes to a point to question reality. And with all the other BS going on in the world and politics and Hollywood and all kinds of crap. So yeah, come to a point where you start questioning reality a little bit. So, I am helping with trauma healing. I've dealt with the religious traumas and I've done all my inner work. I know why I've gone through everything I've gone through in my journey. And I truly believe that's one of the biggest lies they give us, is that you should know why you've gone through the stuff you've gone through. And I'm at a point now that I can literally walk away from a encounter or whatever, and I can figure out why, why is this, why was I there and what I took away, or maybe I was there to give them a message. And I also, whatever is even happening in my life, that I, have come to a point that everything is for a purpose and I just got to figure out why. And so, maybe, depending on what the situation is, it might take me a little bit of time, but it doesn't take me too long usually before I'm like, okay, I can understand why I'm going through this, why this decision would be made, because we are just living our dream life out. That's right. It's just a dream. Wake up from it and start figuring out what your learning lessons are. Evolve your soul. And that's, what I've come to find to be my truth. So like, share, subscribe, and donate. Links are in the bio and my email. So if you want to get some help from me for any of that trauma healing, you can reach out to me. I dealt with the religious traumas as well, like, fear of burning in hell. Anyhow, I am on Rumble and YouTube for my podcasting, but I'm on Facebook under Alisha Broman Quinn, and I got a group, Our Greatness, and I'm on True Social as well. I share the videos on there, and I am on TikTok and Instagram doing just kind of like I started doing kind of like a weekly growth, kind of message just to help with people, because people are just in such different levels. And so those ones I put out for whoever, it is meant for, they can find it or whatever, they'll come across it, because we all need guidance and encouragement, and we're all one. We all are part of God, and God speaks to us through others. Imagine. So, enjoy your life and day. Remember, it's just a show. It's just like a movie. Just watch it like a movie. Figure out what's going on. Figure out why you're going through what you're going through, and learn from it and grow. And that's truly the meaning that I found of my life, is to do that. So pay attention to your thoughts and watch your life, because it can be quite interesting once you start truly paying attention to it. Sending love, peace, and healing. Enjoy your day.
Me blow your mind. You are a piece of God experiencing himself here on earth. And when I say God, God, the universe, the source, life, the quantum field, however you want to call it, you are a piece of God experiencing himself here in the third dimension. God is fifth dimension. Someone else is also a piece of God experiencing themselves. The thing is that none of you know it. You don't remember, they don't remember. All right? So when you do something to someone else, such as lying, the information of your action is out there in the field, and because the field is shared, they are getting it. They may not consciously know that you're lying, but they know. Did it ever happen to you that someone, I don't know, lies or cheats on you and you feel it? You get a feeling. You usually call it intuition. You get a feeling and you cannot pinpoint it or anything, but you know. That is because that information is also in your field. It's like the waves in the ocean. You see the waves and they look separate, but they are all a part of the same ocean. You cannot contaminate one wave and not contaminate the others, because there's no actual separation. The separation between the waves is an illusion, right? They are all the same ocean. So the same thing happens here. Whatever information, for example, a lie, you are putting in the field towards them, because the field is shared, they will get it. They may not find out that you're lying, but they will have a feeling. Energetically, they will know. Something else that happens is that because they are a piece of God and you are a piece of God, and this separation is simply an illusion of the third dimension, when you do something to them, you are inevitably doing it to God. And because you are also God, you are inevitably doing it to yourself. So you may do something to someone else and think, oh, I got away with it because they didn't consciously find out. But then something happens to you, something of the same energetic frequency. And you may be like, oh, I had bad luck. It It is not bad luck. There's no such thing. It is simply what you put out there inevitably coming back to you, because the out there is yourself. The out there is you. You don't remember that. You think that you can do something to someone else and stay safe. Whatever you do, whether it's good or bad, is going to come back. For example, if you lie to someone else, you may think you got away with it, but in reality, the energetic information is there. There is no lying to God.
What is spiritual awakening? A spiritual awakening is when a person becomes aware of his real nature and own unique being. When this happens in your life, you will have a new sense of seeing things and the world around you. You will begin to trust life and use your inner voice when making decisions. You will be able to accept your emotions and really feel them, not repressing them through addictions and negative patterns. You will release the old pattern where you react in your life based on your traumas and old experiences. You will know that the same thing will not happen again because you attract what you want in life. You are able to release the old ways of thinking. When you experience a spiritual awakening, many questions will come into your mind and you will ask yourself a lot of questions because your ego will try to find all the excuses to keep you in fear and old patterns.
Isn't it strange how you'll never meet the version of you that lives in someone else's story? To some, you're heartless. To others, your kindness itself. Some will remember your laughter. Others will never forget your mistakes. But none of them really know you. Not fully. They only know the version of you that crossed their path. You are not one person. You are 1,000 reflections in 1,000 different minds, shaped by moments you may not even remember. You can be a villain in a story you never read, and a hero in another, because we are all mosaics, broken and beautiful, shaped by the eyes that see us. And you don't get to choose which pieces they keep. But here's the truth. You do get to choose the version of yourself you wake up to every day. Because in the end, the only story that matters is the one you write for yourself.
They tell us not to, but we take a stand. just what we want to. Yeah, we do just what we want to. We break